Hello everyone. This video is a sort of announcement video for a scenario pack that I've made for Open Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. The idea is to have a set of challenging scenarios where you'll need good knowledge of game mechanics, tenacity and inventiveness in order to complete these challenging scenarios. In this video I'll go over sort of each scenario separately and show what the goal is and also the general environment that it's in. So the first scenario is called Capitalism Cove. Although terribly in debt, you are determined to turn this cove into a beautiful seaside resort known for its merchandise. Your objective: to achieve a monthly profit from food, drink and merchandise sales of at least 2200. You initially have this sort of small jagged cove near the beach of the shore of this sort of island here. It's a very small area to work with, so what you'll need to do is you'll need to make enough profit to purchase this land that is relatively cheap, so you can expand to the point where you have enough guests that you can actually achieve the profit from merchandise goal. Next scenario is Ferocious Forest. This modest park, originally intended for children, was overrun by unruly coaster enthusiasts. It's up to you to redesign the park to their tastes and to keep up the park's reputation. Your objective: to have at least 1000 guests in your park. You must not let the park rating drop below 700 at any time. The sort of idea of this park is that it was originally designed for guests that prefer a low intensity rate, and you can see it in all the different rides here. They're all low intensity, but the guests in this park all have a high intensity preference. So what you'll need to do is you'll quickly need to redesign the entire park to keep your park rating below the 700 before April, and then you'll need to not only keep up that park rating, but you'll also need to design enough intense rides to achieve the total guest number goal. The next scenario is Mellow Mine. This old mine was to be turned into a thrilling park, but poor design and financial problems had the project shut down. You must turn these old scraps into a park suitable for more gentle folks. Your objective: to finish building all 5 of the partially built roller coasters in this park, designing them to achieve excitement ratings of at least 7.10 each. This is a relatively small scenario where you have to redesign all these wooden coasters to finish them to have enough excitement rating to pass the goal of 7.10 each. As said in the sort of description here, all the guests for this park prefer less intense rides, that is less than 4. So you'll either need to find a way to attract all the guests without using these roller coasters as they'll be too intense, or you'll have to find a way to design these roller coasters such that the guests will actually go on them, and then later when you have enough funds you can redesign them to have the desired excitement rating. The next scenario is Ominous Oasis. This desert oasis provides a good opportunity to develop a park catered to a gentle audience. Your objective: to have at least 1200 guests in your park at the end of October year 2, with a park rating of at least 600. This is again a scenario that has guests that prefer less intense rides, as you can see. But this time you'll need to attract all the guests in the park without any roller coasters, as this scenario does not have any roller coasters. It's also a little surprise at the end, so as the name suggests, Ominous Oasis might be a more difficult park than you might initially expect. The next scenario is Serpentine Valley. This gently meandering river is the site for this coaster building challenge. Your objective: to have 10 different types of roller coasters operating in your park, each with an excitement value of at least 6. As you can see, this is a very narrow park centered around this river that goes through it entirely. However, there is the opportunity to buy some land on the outsides for this park. All the same, the park will still be very narrow and very long in its sort of area it covers, and you'll need to build these 10 roller coasters with enough excitement rating. The initial roller coasters are quite manageable for the excitement, but there are some surprises thrown in towards the end. So you might need to redesign some of the coasters initially built to provide enough space to design on the latter coasters, which might be more difficult to achieve the excitement rating with. Next scenario is Whirlwind Park. The guests in this park were struck by a mysterious case of food poisoning as the handyman went on a strike. You must restore the park to its flawless reputation. Your objective: to have at least 2,100 guests in your park. You must not let the park rating drop below 700 at any time. This is a fairly large and fairly developed park, as you can see, with a lot of rides already built. There's a wooden coaster here, a steel mini coaster, there's a go-kart track, some swan boats, dinghy slides, suspended swinging coaster, a train going around. But there's a slight problem in that it has a very serious vomit problem all around the park, with vandalism to go along with it as well. There are no handymen initially, as they went on a strike, not willing to deal with any of that. So you'll need to fix these problems with all the vomit and vandalism quickly before you can actually develop the park. And at any time you need to keep the park rating above 700, so you'll have to salvage the park as it is and improve it to achieve this fairly high guest goal of 2,100. The final park is a bit of a joke park. It's called Woods Masters. You've been challenged to acquire an astounding number of guests in this cleared forest area. Are you ready? Your objective: to have at least 2,500 guests in your park at the end of October year 1, with a park rating of at least 600. As you can see, this park is mainly just flat ground with some trees thrown in between. The whole sort of joke about this park is that it's more or less forest frontiers, but with 10 times as high a guest goal as usual. 2,500 guests in 1 year is quite a large number, so to achieve that goal you have to be very clever with your ride design, and you have to be on point with your advertisements as well, with the marketing campaigns. And that's all the scenarios that I designed in this scenario pack, designed to be challenging but also more fun, not necessarily punishing, but more sort of creative scenario pack where you have to really understand the game mechanics to beat some of these scenarios. So I hope you all enjoy these scenarios, and I might make another few of them to add to the pack eventually, but for now these will be the 7 scenarios in this challenge pack. So I thank you all for watching, and I hope you have fun with these scenarios.